Welcome my dear listeners. Stay with me to get the news first and subscribe to the channel. Let's find out what's going to happen on royal family. Queen Elizabeth didn't go to Charles and Camilla's civil wedding, but she did give them an informal show of approval. Queen Elizabeth was the head of the Church of England, but she didn't go to King Charles and Queen Camilla's civil wedding in 2005. However, she did find a special way to show her approval of the marriage. On April 9, the couple got married at Windsor Guildhall. She was there for the blessing service at St. George's Chapel. Afterward, the Queen held the reception at Windsor Castle, where she could be the proud mother and showed by breaking convention. According to royal biographer Robert Hardman, in his new book, Queen Elizabeth II, he writes that instead of the usual speech from the father of the bride, guests would hear from the mother of the groom. A lot of the guests were not ready for it at all. He quotes one of the people in the household as saying, "Someone just tapped a glass and there was the Queen talking. It was her idea." She had decided not to go to the civil wedding, but this was her way of showing support and marking the occasion after getting through all the official issues. The source also says that the late king used every racing metaphor he could think of, like saying the King Charles and Queen Camilla had reached the winners' enclosure. The Grand National was the same day as their wedding that year, and Elizabeth's use of horse racing terms made her speech feel personal. It's so touching that she gave her son a seal of approval in such a surprising way. She probably had a big part in getting the idea of Queen Camilla out there and accepted by the public. Before that, she was going to be called Princess Consort. When Charles became king, she never called herself Princess of Wales. Even though she could have, both choices were made out of respect for Diana, Princess of Wales, and the public's lasting love for her. Queen Elizabeth made a big decision out of the blue the day before the 17th anniversary of her becoming queen. She told the country that her daughter-in-law could be called Queen Consort instead of Princess. She said, "When my son Charles becomes king, I know you will give him and his wife Camilla the same support you have given me. It is my sincere wish that Camilla will be known as Queen Consort as she continues her royal service." On April 5, 2026, King Charles III and Queen Camilla go to the Easter Matins service at St. George's Chapel. Thanks to Samir Hussain, a viral image via Getty for the photo. Queen Elizabeth's sincere wish helped people get used to the change. For many months her official title was Queen Consort, but now she is just known as Queen Camilla. This year marks the 21st wedding anniversary for her and King Charles. Even though the date is probably a little sad now, it's also the anniversary of Prince Philip's death. They have so many happy memories to look back on, including the wedding and that informal speech. Prince Harry just got a huge slap in the face. He is being completely exposed. Can you believe it? People will only pay so much to hear a man who has never worked a 9-to-5 job in his life talk about workplace wellness. Who would have guessed? We just heard that the Inter-Age Summit organizers have had to cut the most basic entry-level prices from an eye-popping $1,978 to $997 in a last-ditch effort to sell tickets to Prince Harry's upcoming keynote speech in Melbourne. People don't think Prince Harry and Meghan Markle will be able to make a comeback because their new creep isn't out. A PR expert says that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's trip to Australia later this month is unlikely to lead to any kind of comeback. The Duke and the Duchess of Sussex are in Australia for a few days to do private business and charitable work. The Sussexes went to Australia for the last time in 2018, but this trip will be very different from the first one, which was full of pomp and ceremony. Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet, Harry and Meghan's two kids, will not be going with them. Granny Smith was born in Australia, started the PR agency The Atticism, told the Daily Express. So can the tour be a success? It all depends on what we mean by success. A success means a well-planned series of smile and wave appearances, a supportive crowd in controlled settings, and strong images and headlines, then yes, absolutely, their teams will be able to say that was a success. She also said if the goal is to change how people see things more broadly or to get back at someone, that's when it starts to seem a little unrealistic. Miss Smith said that the trip won't be a huge flop and that it will be fine. She also said that fine and transformational are very different things. He and Meghan swept through Australia like rock stars going on a world tour with the golden halo of their wedding still hanging heavy around their heads. They had just said they were going to have their first child and thousands of fans were following them everywhere they went. Oh, how things have changed. People were interested in this couple in 2020. If I wanted to know what happened behind the palace gates, we wanted to know the details of what happened and where their anger came from. We couldn't wait to see the Netflix documentary and we bought the memoir, but the problem with being curious is that it goes away just as quickly as it comes up. Once the insults and complaints have been said many times in every possible medium, you are left with the person who is actually speaking. It doesn't matter if that person is a prince or a pauper. If they have nothing important to say, they are exposed. And it turns out that Australian crowd isn't very interested in paying a huge $2,000 to hear a millionaire talk about burnout and a bunch of other business terms he learned just a few hours before. Prince Harry. When you take away the crown's magic and mystery, you get one more influencer's ramblings about corporate wellness in a market that is already full of them. And of course, the irony of the whole thing is getting to Shakespearean levels now that Harry, who has been on a scorched earth campaign against his own family for the past 6 years, is going to speak at a social safety summit. Meghan is also hosting her own event while they are in Australia, and she has been in the news for one scandal after another. Not to mention that one of her chosen guests is one of the most active members of the Sussex squad, who sickeningly called the Princess of Wales' life-changing career diagnosis fake. It looks like the couple is going to learn a hard lesson. Their worth will be based on how many people want to see them. And right now that doesn't seem to be the case. Will it return? Only time will tell. Inside Meghan Markle's angry fight with Queen Elizabeth, as new information comes to light. New information has come to light about a supposed disagreement between Meghan Markle and Queen Elizabeth II before the Duke and Duchess of Sussex wedding in 2018. New information has come to light about problems that were going on behind palace doors. The claims are about Meghan's choices of royal tiara, which is said to have caused problems before the ceremony. People have been talking about the event in the years since, even though it was never officially talked about. A new account has shed light on what might have happened. The Daily Mail says the royal historian Robert Hardman talked about this in a part of his upcoming book, Queen Elizabeth II in Private. In the open, the inside story said that the two women had a fight. The Stradbary handbag that Meghan Markle has is now €100 less expensive. Meghan Markle is great at making even the simplest outfit look better with a unique accessory. Her Stradbary handbag is a great example of this. The royal has liked the brand for a long time, and now one of her most famous looks is quietly on scale. The East or West Mini is small, but it has a lot of style. Meghan's 44 chic green crossbody bag is made of the brand's signature smooth leather, which gives it a polished high-end look that stays in shape over time. The smooth gold bar closer gives it a little bit of an architectural edge, and if you know Stradbary, you will know it right away. Next, there's the color. The rich emerald color is both modern and classic, so it works all year long. It goes with both neutral tailoring and deeper winter-ready colors just as easily, which is why Meghan's styling was so on point. It's not very big, only 12 into 18 cm, and it's made for just the basics: your phone, keys, wallet, and lipstick, so it never feels heavy. Because of its crossbody strap and clean, structured shape, it works just as well for everyday wear as it does for going out at night. And it's not just the royal family's approval that is making people excited. The bag has a 4.8-star rating right now, and people are happy with how well it works and how many uses it has. One reviewer said it was high quality and added, "The design is very flexible and keeps its shape well. The leather is of amazing quality. Everything about it is great." One person sold, "It's the cutest little bag that goes with everything." Stradberry's mid-season sale is going on right now, and you can save up to 40% on Meghan approved items. This is a great time to get one for less. And when you step back from all of this, something feels quietly powerful, almost uncomfortable. Because Queen Elizabeth II didn't need headlines to show approval. She chose timing, symbolism, and silence. Skipping the civil wedding, but then standing tall at the blessing and speaking at the reception, that hasn't hesitation. That was strategy. To me, that moment says more about leadership than any public statement ever could. Because she supported the marriage without breaking the rule she had to protect. And that's where the contrast begins to feel sharper today. On one side, you have a monarchy built on patience, restraint, and carefully chosen gestures. On the other, a modern royal world where everything is faster, louder, and judged instantly. That's why the reaction to Prince Harry feels so different now. Because once the mystery fades, the audience starts asking harder questions. Not about titles, but about substance. Personally, I think this is the real turning point, not scandal. Not headlines, but expectation. People don't just want access anymore, they want meaning. And if that meaning isn't there, the spotlight becomes much harsher than silence ever was. So here's the question that really matters. Can someone step away from the monarchy and still carry the weight that made paper listen in the first place? And even deeper, was it royal rule that gave the voice power or the person behind it? Looking ahead, I don't think this tension is going away anytime soon. If anything, we may see a clearer divide between those who protect the institution quietly and those who try to redefine it publicly. And that divide, it rarely stays peaceful for long. Because once the audience starts deciding who still matters, the story can change overnight. And the next chapter might already be unfolding, just a little more quietly than we expect.